Texting and driving continues to be a serious issue throughout the country where people are so distracted by their smartphones that they get into life-altering and in some cases life-ending car accidents. Now, one school in rural Wisconsin wanted to get the point across that texting and driving is extremely dangerous to its students, and they did so in a not-so-smart way. This was in Brodhead High School. Brodhead High School. And what they did is they announced that 4 students in the school had died due to someone texting and driving, and it led to a car accident. Now, they went into detail about how one of them was rushed to the hospital. One student by the name of Sam Bolen says, "I was pretty upset. It's a really small school. Like, most of the people really knew who they were. You kind of know everybody in a smaller school." Now, I should note that this again is rural Wisconsin. There's about 3,000 people in this town. So everyone knows everyone else. Everyone has a close, tight-knit relationship with one another. So imagine someone that you know personally dying in a car accident you just found out while you're in school. Well, later on, about 10 minutes after that announcement, the person basically said, no, this is part of a drill, so everybody relax, they're not actually dead.
Just kidding.
So, of course, there were students that were understandably upset about this, and it just got weirder and weirder, because after that announcement, there was another announcement later in the day where they did the exact same thing. And so students were like, why do they keep doing this? This is not funny. These are our friends. So 3 times throughout the day, administrators or students, there was actually a student-run newscast on campus where they announced that these students were dead. And so the students were really upset about it. Some thought it was a good idea. The student body was behind this, and they thought it was a good idea. But what's also incredible is some of the parents came forward and talked to the administrators and said, hey, this is not the best way to go about it. And they were met with vitriol. Like, they were met with, a lot of defiance.
So first on the repeating it over and over again, the kids were in on it, the 4 kids who they pretended were dead. And then they showed up in school, and they were supposed to stay away for the first announcement, and they were wearing all black. By the time they're doing the 3rd announcement, they're like, okay, and Joe and Bobby have died. And Joe and Bobby are right there. People are like, what is wrong with you? Why are you doing this incredibly strange thing? So now, you're right, Anna. Some of the parents are like, what's the big deal? One of them said, if you have a child who's offended by this, you're raising a weak, drama-filled child. But they thought one of their best friends had just died, and they were upset about it. Oh, don't be such a baby.
Okay.
Okay, really? So then my favorite is the principal who had this bright idea in the first place. Jim Mathis, when questioned about it during the proceedings, he yelled at that, quote, if anyone has a problem about it, their parents can call me tomorrow. So then people called, and he's like, no comment. Wait, I thought you said they'd call you tomorrow, so they called. All of a sudden, not as much of a tough guy when everybody's paying attention and going, hey, knucklehead, this is a little traumatic, maybe not the best way to go about it with kids.
Look, it's interesting how some people immediately resort to fear to get the point across, right? Like, scare them straight. And the reality is that those scare them straight tactics don't usually work. And in this case, all it did was piss a bunch of people off because they thought their close friends had died in a car accident when in fact they hadn't. It was part of your little social experiment. Look, education goes a long way, but you have to be smart in how you educate people about the dangers of texting and driving or drinking and driving. And honestly, I think the most effective thing is finding the hell out of people when they're caught texting and driving. Just like with drunk driving, you're going to be so scared of getting that DUI that you're not going to get behind the wheel. Now, some people still do, and they pay the consequences for that, but drunk driving has gone down significantly ever since, we started prosecuting people as harshly as we have. If you want to go in that direction, and I know that's really based on what state lawmakers want to do, I think that makes a lot more sense than pretending like people died when they really didn't.
I get it. But this thing, maybe I'm one of the heartless ones. If I was involved in a situation, I'm like, oh my God. And then if they revealed after 10 minutes, I'd be like, oh, whew. I mean, again, I know people have been through traumatic situations. They've lost friends. I've lost 3 friends from high school. It wasn't in high school, but since, and 2 of them very tragically. One just sick, but the other 3 just like, accidents, things like that. And then you stop and you contemplate life for a minute, me again. So I'm not trying to project on anyone else. But if it hurts them, I hear you. But after revealing it, they lost me when they kept going back to the well. Now you've turned into a joke. It sounds like the freshman made a prank, and now everybody's going, next time you're driving, you pick up the phone, you're not going to go, I remember that really poignant announcement they made. There you go. I remember that announcement they made, idiots. You just keep texting. Because now it's a joke. You turned it into the wrong thing.
Maybe, look, I just think about it. I think about everything in my own context, right? So if, I don't know, the executive team at TYT wanted to make a point about texting and driving, and then you guys come in one day, we have our company-wide meeting, and you tell me JR died in a car accident, and then 10 minutes later you tell me, oh no, we're just kidding, this is part of a drill, I would go apeshit. I would lose my mind. I would be so angry.
And can you imagine 2 hours later we come back out and we're like, no, seriously, JR died in a car accident. It is so weird.
Messed up.
And by the way, so I'm with JR. I would react fine to it, but I've got thick skin. And you can't assume that everybody's got as thick skin as you have. So, for example, one of the students here was named after their uncle who was killed by a drunk driver. So don't do that because you don't know who has been affected by this already. And so they're going to have different reactions than you might have. So I'm positive the principal fancies himself a tough guy, right? Like, oh yeah, I wouldn't be bothered by it. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's not, okay? But that doesn't mean that all the kids that go to your school shouldn't be bothered by it.
Right.
So just a little common sense, which far too often is not very common at all.
The point is they were supposed to be bothered by it, or else it wouldn't be a deterrent, right?
Yeah.
They want them to be
It was
sad.
supposed to be traumatic. You're right.
That's weird.
Okay, and they hatched up this plan. They're like, I got a great idea. Let's traumatize the hell out of the kids here. And then, that'll show them.
I really think there should be safety features in every car regarding smartphone technology. So obviously there's hands-free devices or hands-free Bluetooth systems or whatever, where you can talk to someone on the phone without having the phone, in your hand. But you guys all know what that is. I love that I described it. But anyway.
Okay. Oh, really?
let me be clear.
There's an internet, and it connects the whole world. It's amazing.
Okay,
You're never going to believe it.
Hold on. But why can't there be something similar for texting, right? Where the car will read the text out loud for you, and then you can do voice to text to respond.
My car has that.
I think we're there, yeah.
It does?
Yeah, we're there.
Yeah.
What's the hell?
That's
my dad would say.
She's trying to explain technology to people. That's like old technology. I know what you're thinking about the corporate media.
Oh, no, not again.
I hear you, brother. Luckily, there's the Young Turks, and you make it happen. Come join us. tytnetwork.com/join.